Welcome students of Form 2. We are talking about Chapter 2. For probably when you're watching this, we are like in January of the school year of Form 1. And we're talking about social interaction, a very important topic in your curriculum of CCSLC at the Sky Pre-University. Yes, social interaction is a topic, and you can find this topic in Chapter 2. In paragraph 1, around page 30, I believe. Community interaction, paragraph 2.1, social interaction, and we're talking about belonging to a group. When you belong to a group, vos pertenece a un grupo. Pertenece, palabra significa toebehoren, you belong to a group. In Hollands is aqui dat toebehoren, ergens belong to a group, bij een groep horen, belonging to a group. And we all belong to groups, whether we like it or not. That's human life, to belong to a group. So most of us enjoy times when we have company. We have other people around us, then we have company. Most people do. And if they don't, well, there's something wrong. This can be one reason for people joining a group. Join a group. Da onder is un hände. Join un grupo. They make friendships, migunan, y desarrollo relación con otra gente. But there are also a lot of other reasons why people join groups, and gente hanya hopi mas beneficionan. And hopi mas beneficionan con un grupo. Y pertenece a un grupo. Yes, so we have school groups when you're young, like when you're 3, 4, 5 years old, you already find your first friends and you connect to a certain group at school. And when you're older and you go to university, the same things happen over and over again. Even at work, every time you connect to a group, to this group or to this group, and you decide not to belong to one group. And this is what social interaction, el tópico capítulo aquí, the topic of this chapter is social interaction. Joining groups is a major ingredient of social interactions. And which groups you don't join, of course. And you do this from a young age and also when you become older and older. So you keep on doing this. When talked about this, it's a good opportunity to talk about the learning outcomes. The learning outcomes is, and we talked about it just now, what are the benefits to an individual like you and me, we are individuals, of joining a group? What are the benefits of those? And describe the roles of individuals within a formal group within the school. So formal groups within the school also have roles. Within friendship groups, you have less so, although you have certain roles within those groups, but they're not like fixed. They change all of the times, but you have certain rules. But within formal groups, we're going to look at the roles that these people have. And generally speaking, what are the benefits of the individual? What are the benefits of this person, and this person, and this person, and this person, and this person? Individuals, what are the benefits? Kijk het uit beneficio pa nang, pa agenda aqui. The individual in the group. School is an example, un ejemplo, pa un grupo largo, formal. That's an example. So you have a teacher, you have students, you have some students who bring the klassenboek and tell the teacher, like me, to fill in everything. So it's an example of a large formal group. And individuals in this group have specific roles and responsibilities. Perhaps this student is the klasseassistent, for instance. But it's also the responsibility to keep their desk clean and tidy. We have specific roles in a formal group and responsibilities, under responsabilidad. And specific roles, of course. Together with different degrees of authority. So even the teacher should have the largest authority actually in the group, but this is not always the case. Besides that, you also have sometimes students who have like specific roles within the class, like a klasseassistent. Yes, there are also many formal groups that school students can join, like a class council, or in Dutch, klassenraad, like the University of Curaçao also has a klassenraad that students can join to organize stuff for the school, but also if there are complaints or points of improvement, the klassenraad. You can see the class council of University of Curaçao here. Yes, these are also a formal group that school students can join. Yes, and many schools in Curaçao also have a class council. And actually, SPU, I don't think they have a class council right now, but they actually should have one to arrange stuff for the school, to improve the school, and so on. A few things about the characteristics, características de un grupo. Yeah, un grupo formal y un grupo informal. A formal group has written and clearly defined rules. They're written down. Esse aqui tá hopi klaar. Na skipi esse aqui, dingo riba un papel e reglanan tá hopi klaar. Sanctions exist when people break the rules. Ja, tiora hende tá quebrar e reglanan, nós tem sancionar. Yes, like in football, when you get a red card, or at school, when you have to pick up the garbage, there are rules. In an informal group, there is behavior management, but there are no written rules. No escape, pero, yes, we have behavior that is acceptable, comportación inacceptable, y comportación aceptable. Lang thing is it. Yes? And you can find this, by the way, on page 36 of your textbook. And these are about formal groups, and these are about informal groups on page 36 of your textbook. Yes, so there are no written rules, but there is behavior that's acceptable, aceptable, comportación aceptable, y comportación inacceptable. Yeah, like you can see clearly here. You have common needs, interests, and values. Similar. Your interests are similar, like you can see here. So you share a lot. Your needs, kiko bota mester di, bota interest nan, bota valor nan, ta similar, ta junto. Bota común. Bota bisa eseki ding papi men doet ambe. Yes? So, boting interest nan, or utilidad nan. Yes? You have interest, ding Hollandaise, no se bisa belangen. So, if you are a member of class council, your shared interests are that you want to improve the school, that you want to have better teachers, that you want each classroom to have air conditioning, that you want each class to have a smart board or whatever you call it, a touchscreen, that you want to have more field trips, yeah, that you want to have more beach days, Dia de la Man. Yeah, so these are your shared interests. Besides that, yes, you also have patterns of behavior. En nós temos esse aqui, patrões de comportação, literal translation of patterns of behavior. So patterns of behavior are things that are accepted, and formal groups have certain patterns of behavior, but also informal groups have certain patrões de comportação. And these are behaviors, forms of behavior that are accepted within the group. And if you behave this way in an informal group, you have a higher chance of being accepted. And each culture, each society, each community, each country, cada país, cada comunidad, cada sociedad has certain patrões de comportação. But in informal groups, they are not written down. So you have to feel them. And people who feel them, those unwritten rules, they are accepted within the group, and might be even popular. But if you don't feel them or come from another culture, you may have to join another group, yeah? Or you may fall outside of the group. This is what happened in each group. And you have certain patterns of behavior, but they differ within each group, they differ within each culture, they differ within each country. Cada país está diferente patrón de comportación. Cada cultura tiene diferente patrón de comportación. Cada sociedad tiene diferente patrón de comportación. Yes, so you see this in each country, each culture, that they have different ones, but you could say that within a formal group, they are mostly written down, but also they have also a lot of unwritten rules. So these in formal groups, but also informal groups, they are very similar. Yes. Well, this was my last slide, actually. I hope that was helpful, that you learned about patterns of behavior, that you learned about formal and informal groups, that you learned about examples of formal groups, and what the individual tries to seek in belonging, pertenecer in un grupo, belonging to a group. What does the individual, like you and me, seek at that? If you want to subscribe, you can do that below. You can let the bell be ringed, actually. If you have questions or points of feedback or compliments, you can do that below. And I hope to see you during class, alive and well, alive and kicking. Yeah. Bon tardi, bon dia, feliz tardi, disfruta bom dia, and I hope to see you during class. Enjoy your what time of the day it would be.